Sphere by Michael Crichton. This is a book that is hysterical! If you're not really familiar with Michael Crichton and who this author is, there might be one book, a little book that you might know, which is called Jurassic Park. Now, Crichton has written a lot more than just Jurassic Park, with Sphere being one of them. Now, in terms of other books I've read by this author so far, of course I've read Jurassic Park, which I already have a full review on as well, and I also read Dragon Teeth, and I love them both. Jurassic Park is obviously an iconic book that I won't go into too much detail here because I have a full review that you can watch after this, but essentially it was a 5-star read. For Dragon Teeth, on the other hand, this is another book about dinosaurs, but they're not alive. This one dealt with the discovery of dinosaur fossils in the western expansion of America in a time period known as the Bone Wars. This is another book that I really enjoyed by Mr. Crichton, and I would put it in the 4.5 to 4.7 star range. So obviously I wanted to check out another book by Mr. Crichton because he was quickly becoming one of my favorite authors. So here we are now, another book by Crichton downloaded into my brain.
Nice.
Sphere is another book by Crichton that I just simply started reading without even reading the blurb, or I should really say start listening to, because I did listen to the audiobook version of this story. And without reading the blurb, I had no idea what to expect. All I knew was that the book's title was Sphere and that it was by Michael Crichton, and that was it. I also know that there was a movie adaptation, which I also somehow did not watch either, so really I had no idea what to expect. In this movie, I did watch after the fact, which I won't really talk about right now, but I might touch on it a little bit later. So getting to the point of this video, was Sphere any good? Is Sphere better than Jurassic Park? Is this Michael Crichton's best work? Sphere. I also want to quickly shout out Ryan Patrick, who's an author, who told me to check out Sphere because it's one of his favorites, so I did exactly that. I'm not sure when he told me to read this one, but I did. And now, here we are. So what is this story all about? And essentially, it's about a psychologist who thinks he's on his way to help survivors of a plane crash in the middle of the ocean. The thing is, though, is that there were no survivors. There wasn't even a plane crash. What we do have, though, is a massive spacecraft on the ocean floor that's at least 300 years old, or even older. Is it alien? Where did it come from? Why is it here? And most importantly, what's inside of it? Now this is where our main character comes into play. He and a select few other individuals are going to be the first contact team to enter this ship and get answers to all of our fiery questions. From here, I won't go too much further into the plot itself to avoid any spoilers if you have not read it just yet. To answer the question, did I enjoy it? Yes I did. I thought it was great. But to answer the other million-dollar question, did I think it was better than Jurassic Park? No, I did not. But, of course, this is subjective. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat a story about dinosaurs, right?
You're goddamn right.
Though this story does involve creatures that come from the depths of the ocean, which is also pretty cool. And as you can probably guess by this point, this story does take place underwater for the most part. So much so that our characters are actually living in a habitat that was constructed on the ocean floor, which I thought was a really cool idea. So we already have a lot of interesting things going on. Potential alien spaceship, habitat underwater on the ocean floor, a crew that are all specialized in some sort of field of study. Also, I wanted to quickly point out that I thought it was hilarious that Michael Crichton inserted another mathematician, similar to Jurassic Park, in the story as well. And 4, deep sea creatures. And 5, science that makes the story feel plausible. Now picture this, you are in a tight quarters building with limited space. Water all around you, and you cannot see the sun. Claustrophobic? Right? Yes, and on top of all that, there's a massive alien spaceship right outside your door. You know what's even crazier? I haven't even mentioned the word sphere just yet in terms of the story. You know, the title of the book. This is why I freaking love Michael Crichton books, because he just packs so much into one story. And in this case, we have, right off the bat, a ton of atmosphere, great character development, and a very engaging plot that had me guessing all the way to the very end. There were so many times I was trying to guess what was going to happen next, but I was always wrong.
What happened? What happened?
And on top of all this, we have a layer of suspense. Crichton has a way to slowly build suspense where it just slowly creeps up on you, and eventually it just slams you into the face. So what have I said so far? Interesting plot, a boatload of science, great characters that feel real, suspense, and atmosphere. All these things are amazing, and I still don't think this is better than Jurassic Park. No, I don't, because I think Jurassic Park had all these same elements but just slightly topped it.
Now, eventually, you do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right? Hello? Hello? Yes?
I really hate that man.
So overall, Sphere was just an absolute blast and something that I could not predict at any turn. It's like a puzzle game where each chapter is its own little puzzle piece, and eventually over time, after each chapter, you're putting these puzzle pieces together, which builds up to a picture that leads to a crazy climactic ending. You think you know how it's going to end, but then a few chapters left into the book, it somehow twists again. My brain was like a twisted pretzel after reading this story. And there's also one other author that I can compare this work to in terms of Crichton's twists and turns, with that being Blake Crouch. I think these two are leaves from the same tree, because both these books, both these authors are just filled of twists and turns and suspense. It's a freight train going at 1,000 miles an hour. So if I had to give it a final rating, I would probably give it a 4.6, and I'd recommend that your mom read it. Also, you can read it too. Sphere, I give 2 thumbs up. The movie, on the other hand, the thumbs are kind of going down a little bit, but frankly, this is a whole separate conversation on the movie itself, but essentially everything just felt less to me. Less suspense, less character development, less drama, and overall just a less experience compared to the book. The Sphere did look pretty cool though. Now for my next Crichton book, I actually asked online, what I should read next by Mr. Crichton, and I got a ton of responses with so many different books too. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram or X, go do that. Let's go talk some books. And out of that, I already got my next book in the mail, with that being Prey. This is another story. I have no clue what it's about. I'm not going to read the blurb. I'm just going to dive head straight into it without knowing anything besides the title, and it's by Crichton. Alright, that is my review, so thank you again for sticking around. You've earned 1 XP token, and if you're already a subscriber, you get an extra XP token, so here you go. Have a good one. Keep reading. Peace.